Hi guys, we're live. It's back. Welcome back to SFeatleyTV. Now, I wasn't gonna do a stream tonight, since there's nothing on. I mean, the Southampton Shrewsbury, but I thought I'd wait for the result, and I need some rest anyway. So, if I'm gonna do the show tomorrow, a Hot for the Press show tomorrow at 7 p.m. But I watched the news today, and in terms of the coronavirus, I think you pretty much know what I'm going to be talking about by the name of the title. You can tell by the coronavirus that the level of death rate, the number of deaths have gone up to their highest level again. So yeah, we are facing a real crisis in this country. I went to the NHS. Went to have my appointment at the NHS last week, and we were shoved into a little room. We weren't put in a bed space. We were shoved into a little room because the unit has got hardly any space whatsoever. All the nurses that were part of the unit, including the healthcare assistants, most of them have been moved to the COVID crisis. My nurse specialist has been moved to the COVID crisis. 3 nurses cover the whole unit, and we're talking about we can have up to 15, 20 patients at once, right? Which is a ratio that shouldn't be happening at all. And it shows how stretched the NHS is. And I see that every time I go to hospital every week, right? So I know I can see the strain that they're under. And it's heartbreaking for them that they've got to. I mean, these guys are heroes, and shout out to them. Every single one of them in the NHS, every single key worker, shout out to you, right, for what you do to keep this country going, right? And everyone should be thankful for what you do. But honestly, right, most people are probably watching this, right, are obeying the rules, are following the guidelines, they're doing what they need to do. But there's just some people that don't think that they need to do that. And this is an emotional plea to anyone who thinks of it. Just don't. We've got the vaccines, and it's not like the first pandemic where we had no vaccines. It looked like there was no way out. We were going to be stuck like this for ages. The vaccine's now on its way. Right, in terms of me as a vulnerable person, I won't get my jab until mid-February. But for everyone else, I know it might take till autumn to get all these jabs done, and the fact we got 3 vaccines out there, right? Just follow the guidelines. I know it changes left, right, and centre. I know the government's not done this and not done that, right? But that's all in the past. We can all assess that later once we're all out of this pandemic, right? Right now, what we need to do is as a country is to be like following whatever the government advises us, right? If the opposition are for it, then clearly there's no other alternative, because this is just going to get worse and worse and worse. And the NHS, when you go to get your free at the point of contact healthcare, which is the NHS, they won't be there to help you. They won't, because they'll be too overstretched. They'll have to decide who lives, who dies, who comes in, who comes out, right? In terms of my treatment, I don't know, honestly, if they're going to be able to carry on with my treatment, which is once infusions every week, which usually shouldn't be a problem. But they're so stretched, they are struggling to be able to cope with this. And if that continues, I'm done for. Honestly, I'm absolutely done for, right? they've quite literally said to me, my condition at the minute is, as I just quickly for that, my condition is at the minute, if I don't have my weekly infusion every week at the hospital, I'm dead, or as good as. Simple as that. And I'm now worried that the NHS can't cope with it. So please, I'm begging every single one that watches this, right? Even the ones that are obeying the rules and doing everything they can, right? If you see anyone that's not, call it out, right? Tell them, advise them, tell them that, right, it's not happening, right? Just be united as a country for once. Stop being so divided. I wish you shared the link out. Can we have our say? I will do. Okay. If anyone wants to have their little say, because I'm not going to be on for long, you're welcome to. So I'm just going to post this in the chat, right? And I'm not calling specific people out, right? I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to labor people about staying inside, doing this, washing hands, this, that, and all the other. Right? I'm just honestly giving it from my perspective when I have to be in hospital, right? Because I'm scared. I am scared the NHS won't be able to do my treatment. That's how scared I am. And this is even I don't know if Ads is on, but he'll back me up as well, right? Because he has his own problems as well, right? Not as severe as mine, but hey, we all have our problems. Hannah, like, love to you as well. Love the support as always. But I wear protection. I hate those. Yeah, I hate those who don't. Right? When I was actually allowed out to the supermarkets before the complete lockdown, I hated ones that didn't wear any protection, like masks, and they came right up to you, and I just literally called them out right in front of everyone. Just call it out, right? Because otherwise, it just carries on. It carries on and it carries on. So, yeah, honestly. But this is the other part of this channel, right? Where we make up what this channel's about. As though we've banter about football, F1 and all that. The main core of this channel is raising awareness of liver disease, and not just children's liver disease, but for this charity, right? Not just for that. It's to give people the chance to raise awareness in their own way. So if they have their own issue, they can come on and have their say, and I can let them have a sort of outlet to express their problems. So yeah, and that's what I would really like from this channel as it grows. And yes, we've got Ads. How are you?
Not bad, bro.
Yeah, I just saw the news today, and I couldn't help but just do a short stream, just sort of really pleading with people just to follow the guidelines. Yeah, there's been mistakes in on the way to this point, but it's to a point now. I'm now going to a hospital, and I'm now worried that they're not going to be able to do my treatment. So I wonder what your say on this is.
Well, I don't. So when you say your treatment, what do you mean by that?
So like Thursday, I've got my treatment, which means I go to the hospital to have my infusions. Now, usually there's a separate medical unit away from the ward and the in their own little unit, and that can cope easily with about 20 odd patients. But I went there last week, and we were in the little quiet room. We weren't in a bed space, and we literally were in a little corner in this little tiny room having this infusion. And there were 3 nurses for the entire unit. All the other nurses have been transferred to the COVID side. Even my liver nurse specialists have been transferred. If you want a doctor, God help you. It's, it's getting to a really, 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 it's unreal. I know there's always been pressure down this time of year, the NHS, but this is unreal because you can physically see it.
Well, what can I say? So you're saying if you don't have that and they cancel it, what happens?
They've said to me from my last meeting with the doctors and the surgeons, if I don't have albumin infusions, every week I'm dead.
Yeah, but how many? Yeah, but how many?
Well,
Um,
yeah, I mean, it can take it's. I mean, it gradually, because what happens then is that you don't absorb anything and you gradually waste away, and it's probably worse than it's like a long prolonged sort of route.
yeah, but no, like how many? Like you said, if there's like patches in between and stuff like that. But
Well, it's like my
like,
mum just said there. She just as you walk past, is that the liver will also scar up. It will start having its own issues because it's not getting the nutrients or anything else as well. So for the liver, it gets even worse. So
you know,
eventually
what I
that
wanted to
starts.
ask, what I wanted to ask is, so like you said about patches in between your infusions and like what time you want to have it. Yeah, how many infusions have to be missed for you to be dead?
I couldn't tell. It depends how long it would take. It's one of those, like, they can give you an estimate, but you could last even longer than that. It's like sometimes when they tell you like you've got so many months to live, but you could actually live another year or so. But for me, it could be another month or two, and I can't really put a timeline on it because we've not really had to really mention it, because we always thought that the NHS would be there to deal with it, and they've made it quite clear that they want to. So, but obviously
Yeah,
with
so wait,
this,
have they stopped it then? Are they planning to stop it?
no, not for now. But if it carries on any worse, they won't have any nurses to do it unless they can get someone to keep a midline in us. So therefore, I can do it at home, which is what I was trying to do beforehand, before Christmas. But all the midlines kept failing. So we're trying to convince radiology to put another one in. That might help in terms of the pressure and actually not having to rely on going to the hospital every week. Plus, I get a line.
Well, to be honest, to be honest with you, I'm just with me. I honestly, I respect what you're doing, and I understand the circumstances. It's very good to spread awareness during these times, but
And this is the thing I just said earlier is I also have this platform not just for liver disease, but if anyone wants to raise awareness on their own issues as well.
yeah, but like the thing is, we can't change stupidness. We can't change idiots,
Well, yeah.
and then they're killing people. Effectively, they are killing people, and then they're doing it for blind sight as well. So anybody who doesn't go up for mask, people don't wash their hands, and people who just stay out late and just don't give a shit. Like people are putting their hands escalators and
Mm.
shit, and they're not washing it after.
I think sometimes I don't think it's the fact that they're purposely doing it. I just think they it's you know, like one of those where was it can't happen to me. It can't happen to me. Or it's they're not doing it because they don't believe in it or anything. They just like forget, or they're just I mean, because even I can like nearly forget my mask if I go to the hospital. Sometimes I nearly forget my mask and I have to run back to the car to go get it. So it's I don't think that it's like they're purposely, I don't believe in this, or I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. They just don't understand what the effects and the impacts of their actions are having.
Yeah, I hear that, but there are people who definitely don't know. There are definitely people who are subconscious of what they're doing because they protest against it, wearing masks, and they protest against sanitizing. So I'm not gonna make excuses for these people.
Yeah, I'm not either, but just gonna run through some of these comments. Echo your title and these idiots breaking rules. You're putting bad name on our country. Name a bad name on our country. It's not hard to follow the rules. Christian, nice to see you. Please stay at home, guys. COVID-19 is real and it really does affect people for the good of the people, and just stay at home. And it's like I've kept saying, like, I mean, we joke and banter about football, but I mean, you've got two Newcastle defenders that are still suffering from it, or suffering the long-term effects of it. I think even Havertz is suffering the long-term effects of it. So it can happen. It can impact anyone. So it's not just the vulnerable or the elderly or the weak. It's just
What I'm
yeah,
gonna
it can
say
happen to
is,
anyone.
what I'm gonna say is, like, I'm gonna get so much stick for this, but all I'm gonna say is I was offered. So everyone's obviously meant to have the vaccination if they want it or not, and my mum's having it. My brother might be having it. For me, will I have it? Probably, probably not. I don't know because I'll be real. I can't swap lives with people. I can't swap lives with people, and I have to be honest now and say that I'm very miserable here. Yeah, sometimes, and that's not just because of this coronavirus stuff. It was before, and I'm sure you'll be after as well. But this corona stuff has just it's. I'm not even gonna lie. It's made me a better person in a way, but I'm still not 110% sure whether or not this earth is the right place for me, and for me to go forward. Because sometimes I have flash thoughts of what if this and what if that, but everyone has that, you know what I'm trying to say? And for me,
Yeah,
raising awareness, it needs to be heard a bit more because, people just they don't care about people, and that's the problem. And that's why they're protesting against face masks because they know no they're doing it just for coverage because they know they'll get news and everything on there and everything. They'll be there. And that's the problem. And if they weren't there, then they wouldn't be doing it.
I hear that to a point. But I'm at a point where I'm yeah, I doesn't put me past what some idiots in this country, and by there's obviously it's always a small minority, and um yeah, and it's I there's not much else you can say. You can barrage them as much as you want, but in the end, if they don't listen, they don't listen. Right, when they got for me the vaccine, and this is the other thing I actually wanted to stress as well, is that this vaccine, right, there's a reason why they've pushed it so quickly. It's because the whole world's pumped money into it. right, an investment into it. So they would not release a vaccine if they did not think it was effective.
It might be effective.
Right?
It might be effective, but will I have it done? Probably not, because I don't care what. Like I said, my mission in life is to help others first, not myself. Others first, and I put everyone first, and that's why I started a channel, and that's why I do this community thing, because it helps people have their voice. They hear mine. They might want to echo it, like you're doing at the moment with your liver
Would you mind me
disease.
asking, would you say that maybe if you had the jab, you can then go forward to help even more people,
The problem is,
knowing you're
I've been
protected?
offered. Thing is, I'll be real. I've had about I don't know, man. It's hard to count. I've had about, I don't know, maybe 50 plus blood tests at hospital, maybe, and it's just to measure out my liver. Yeah,
Yeah,
but then
yeah, I
obviously I've
understand.
been offered, flu jabs. I've dodged it 5 times because I've just been like, yo, what's the point? Like these people are saying to me afterwards, because like the first time I missed it, it wasn't my fault. I was running late and I had some work to do. Then I hear that these people are slagging me off, saying that, oh yeah, because he's young, he doesn't understand, and this is why people are, they're not safe because these children are insecure about their health and stuff and that. I'm like, no, fuck it. I'm not gonna go back if they're gonna be talking about that. And then, my mum fought hard. She fought hard to get one for her mum. Yeah,
Mm.
my nan, who I'm close with. She's gonna have it. Send me the vaccine. And me, I I I probably will or will not. I don't know. It's like 50-50 because I'm kind of like, what's the point? Because I don't know where anything will lead to afterwards. Because that's a big question at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, as as soon as I get offered the vaccine, I'm gonna jump straight to it. I'm not gonna mess around with it. If it's there available, I'll have it. Um, and yeah, and when it comes to like people like when they go about their flu jabs and that, and I mean, this morning, don't that program reminds me of so much because every year it's the same story. Right, it's the same story of like, who needs the flu jab? They treat you like they're 5 years old, right? And I'm like, I didn't hear this last year, or the year before that, or the year before that, or the year
Yeah.
before that, right? And I'm like, I mean, goodness sake, with like one time they said, what do you do to put storage in a fridge? And I'm like, food, right? So I'm just I'm and when I tried to email them about what I'm doing here, they sent back what they're doing for charity, and I said that's not what I asked.
Yeah,
If
no,
I wanted to look
absolutely.
up what you're doing for charity, I'll look it up on Google.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
no, exactly. But once
but
this, one thing I do miss though. One thing I
but
do
what I
miss.
just say is ads is when it comes to the then they say oh the young might not understand so much, so they need reminding every year or so when they come out with this crap. I I don't. I honestly think. I now look at it and say, "Well, you don't mean me because I know, I need it." So, the right, you're just talking to the rest of the people who've never actually had an illness in their life, unless it's the flu. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. But all I'm gonna say is, there's one thing I posted on my Twitter as well.
because the
I
majority,
really,
sorry, it's just the majority is that most people that are young have not needed it.
yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, no, what I posted on my Twitter the other day is, something I miss going on doing on the weekends is just going to my friend's house. Just going to my friend's house because you know what though, Steve, what it was is I went to right. It was a whole week, right? I went to my friend's house. He went to my house the next 3 days. Yeah, every single day for a 3 day, every single day for a week. He went to my house, and then on the
Mm.
Friday I went to his. On the Monday and Friday I went to his. The 3 days in between that, he came to mine. McDonald's every single day. Just eating crap, playing games, just music. Because brought instruments around to our house. He brought his guitar. I could play a little bit of guitar back then, but I'm not into it anymore. My brother had the keyboard, just fucking around a little bit, man. It was live. It was good. It was a good laugh. But then there's one friend of mine. I've argued with my mum for him to stay at my house. Like I've literally like kind of tarnished. It could have tarnished. It's not because I'm very close with my mum. But when you're close with your parents, you have a lot of arguments with them. That's facts. If anyone
Oh,
was to
do you
dispute
you want
it,
to see sometimes the arguments with my
you know,
mom,
you know
and
what I'm saying. And
sometimes I'm
I've
embarrassed.
argued with my mum and nearly tarnished our like how close we are just so my friend can stay at my house. I've given him money. I've given him clothes. I opened packets of food that I didn't even want to open, but I've given it to him to let him have a place to stay. And during this pandemic, he hasn't called me or texted me once. Not once has he texted me. And I've spoken to Jem and Indiana about this especially. And I said, once all this coronavirus stuff is done, like I know who my friends are going to be for the long term. So like it doesn't really bother me. Like, if he doesn't want to chat to me, that's cool.
That's the
I know
thing.
who my
I
friends are
mean,
now.
a friend of mine is I've known since high school, and he was pretty much the only student from that year who came and saw me in hospital when I was 16, and he had just gone while they were having their prom and putting pictures on Facebook. I was having my procedure, and I wasn't allowed. And throughout that year, I wasn't allowed back at school because I was too ill. And every week, no matter what day it was, he would try and get round once a week just to play on the PS3, right, and just eat crap and like say eat crap and just play on the PS3, like have a laugh and cheer us up a little bit because like some of the shit I was going through was just shit. And yeah, and one time was funny because he came down and I had to go to the loo and I was in an ITU and I couldn't use the
Yeah,
toilet, so I had to do it in the in on the bed in the bedpan, and he decided he was going to take the fish and chips we ordered outside. So he'd gone and
yeah,
stank the whole ITU out with fish and chips, right? Knowing that these people can't eat and they're all tied up to incubators, right? Whilst I'm going to the toilet. When he came back in, they said, Lewis, you're a prick. Right? You're a prick. You've just stunk the ward out. Now everyone's hungry. But yeah, I mean, it's yeah, you get to know who your friends are, definitely. And I mean, in terms of like your mum as well, is that I obviously mum being a donor to me, for me, right? Me and mum have always been really close, compared to my mum and my sister, who's had to be because of my sister. Like my mum's had to prioritize me. She's had to go other places to stay at other people's houses and that, which is not fair on her. And this is why it impacts everyone. So
yeah. I hear that, man.
yeah, and my mum, honestly, me and her like that, right? But I mean, even like in the mornings, like she'll come down because they're trying to take what my diet is at the minute to see if there's any way they can help it. And
Yeah,
I'm like, what do you have last night? What do you have last night? And I'm like, fuck off. Just woke up. Fuck off. Leave me
yeah.
alone.
No, I hear
You
that,
know what I
man.
mean?
I hear that.
And sometimes I have arguments with mum, and trust me, sometimes the arguments with mum can be absolutely vile at times. And but in the end, like I don't know what I do about my mum. She's just like everyone says how inspirational I am, right? And I just go look at mum, right? Because without her, I ain't anything,
Yeah,
honestly. So,
yeah. I hear that, man.
Chris, my mom had the vaccine last night. And she's works as was yeah, because receptionists are now having it at the local hospital as
So you
well.
take the vaccine. So you take the vaccination, you get cleared of it, or is it just in case you have it, you have to take
Yeah,
it?
in case you what it does is it then builds up the antibodies you need to fight it.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah,
So
I know, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Because I was reading somewhere that they're gonna just try to
some
revert it
vaccines.
back.
So like the Pfizer vaccine for me is great. I've got to have it. The Pfizer vaccine you got to have twice, which is good for me. Doesn't matter. I don't. It doesn't matter to me because I have to have blood thinning injections every night in my arm, so I'm not really fast.
Yo,
So,
can you put up that message from Fadil, please? Fadil, that's not funny, bro. He said, I have a flu since I was born, so I just stay at home forever then.
this is not what we're trying to talk about. We're trying to be serious here. If you're going to be funny, then go somewhere else. Right? This ain't
This
funny.
is serious
But
stuff.
yeah.
Serious stuff. And
Uh,
you know what though, Stephen? You know what the thing is with me, when I was obviously, we all know how old I am. I don't have to bait it out unless someone asks me, yeah? You all know how old I am.
how
This
old?
year, I'll be 16,
Yeah.
and it'll be a good, it'll be a good, good birthday, not that. But what I'm gonna say is, I know what I'm doing once lockdown's finished. I would have been at college. I would be doing college through Zoom. Um, but the career I want to pursue is being an MC. Obviously that just like rapping and stuff like that. But on the side, of course, I want to focus on like structure of writing and stuff like that. Because for me, everyone knows. Everyone says to me, "Oh yeah, but Ad, you sound so elicitful." Or Adam, you're this, you're that. And so yes, sometimes it's positive. Sometimes it is positive, but at the same times I've missed, just like you as well. Not to the
Mm.
extent of you though, but because I know you've missed school since primary school. I've missed school since year seven. I've didn't go in at all in year
This is
eight.
the thing. Do you know what? This is the thing that when people go on about like students and said, "Oh, they've missed so much time off, they need to cancel the exams." Well, I didn't get that time off in when I was in year six, and I missed half a year, but I still got all fours in my SATs, which clearly showed that I shouldn't have been there in A, B, or C when I went to high school. The only reason they put me all in C is because the tests they do after 3 weeks of starting at high school, I was literally on the week I turned up because I was late getting up to Suffolk. So, but it shows that like even if you've missed all that time at school, put your mind to it, you can do it. It's not. Especially now these days because back then it was all like the internet was hard to even load up. Now it's
Yeah,
like if
absolutely.
you get it on your phone.
Yeah, but Stephen, the thing is, right? If we're not having our GCSEs done, if we're not having our GCSEs done, my mum said that they might be tracking what we're doing online schooling, like what we're actually doing on the online schooling. But I said but there's no way they can do that because if they were to do that, then they have to monitor over 200 students in each year, and they're not going to do that. So what I'm saying is, they definitely scrap GCSEs for the year 11s this year. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about
Mm.
it. Like, it's confirmed. Like, there's no way school is gonna happen again this year. It won't
I
for
get
the
it
year
in
11s.
terms of
Yeah.
like being able to like in terms of staging it, right?
Yeah. No.
Because
Absolutely.
yeah.
But you know, the thing with me
Davey,
is,
hang on. Enjoying this show. It's not really a show. It's just a plea, to be honest. Have you had the vaccine yet? No, like I said, I'm probably not going to get it until about mid-February, but but we are going actually when we go up there discuss about it because if I'm at the hospital and it's there, right, might as well do it, you know, right. And the funny
yeah,
thing is,
might as well. But
the funny thing is, anything that I have, Mum's got to have as well. Right? So she gets stabbed as well.
let's answer this question together. I want to ask you, and then I'll give you what I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Yeah. So
Yeah,
let's, for example, lockdown, coronavirus is gone. What are you doing? What's the first thing you're doing?
I'm going to the snooker hall.
Good lad.
Something.
Good lad, man. Um, for me, I'm just gonna enjoy some air, and just see my friends, especially the friends I've made here, especially Jem. Um,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course, I'm
definitely.
looking to work. Of course, who I'm looking to work with very, very closely, because that's a very rare to see such a, you know, like young people meet adults. It's just for me, 'cause since I was like, yo, a step ahead of people when it comes to socializing. As in, I would never hang out with people my age because I just think they're idiots sometimes. Yeah? And I'd always
That's the
talk
thing.
to
I always had that at high school as well. Is
Mr.
that
Sensible.
because my first 2 years of life was literally spent in hospital. Really, most of it was hospitalization because of my first two transplants. Is that you grew up around doctors, so and the more you grew up around doctors and you grew up like in and out of hospital, is more that you started actually realizing is that is that you start talking more of an adult. That's why at primary school and high school I was probably picked on a little bit more because I was more serious and having to be serious about my condition and stuff like that, whereas they're just being kids and kids, you know. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. And me and
hang
Jen,
on,
we have
we've
plans for the
got
future. And
Bargav in the background. How are
Hey
you?
guys, how you guys doing? This is an interesting conversation.
hey,
Yeah,
Bargav, what are you saying, bro?
uh, go on.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because I live in a different place, obviously. But one of the more interesting things is with lockdowns for me, like things haven't changed much. But the hard part, I think, for everybody is like everybody has different circumstances, right? So
Yeah,
like some of the people that are like business owners or like who own like restaurants and that's their main source of income, it's probably pretty tough
yeah,
because and there's a lot of people that are like out there and their jobs are pretty much outside, so it's pretty hard to just like deal with the lockdowns. Well, some people their jobs are pretty much like YouTubers or like
yeah.
computer engineers. It's a lot easier for them to like adapt to this thing. So,
Usually,
but I think
by the way,
but I think
sorry, I
people should
usually
keep it.
would say like, subscribe, and share, but I think for this one, we'll just like if you do subscribe, then absolutely keep doing it. But we'll just focus on what's on topic here. So, but yeah, you were
Yeah,
saying,
go on, Bargav.
But big thing is like you guys were discussing this is like there have been like certain positives to COVID, like not COVID itself, but like in terms of how you guys changed as a person, right? Because I think that's like the most important part. Because I think it has like, for me at least personally, like in about 2 months I have to like get back out there and actually go like job wise. But for me, I'm spending more time with stuff, focusing on stuff that I actually like
yeah, it's like
passions and
the
stuff.
assess your
So
life
it's
sort
kind
of
of like
thing,
that.
isn't it? It's like
Yeah,
your life's been on fast track, and then all of a sudden it's got pause. Right?
Exactly.
So you've got a chance to say, is this what I want to do? Do I want to do this? Because obviously with my condition at the minute, I was always focused on get myself better, get myself better, get myself better. Right, like get myself better, and I can go back to uni. Right, then I can be the accountant, and then I can do what I want to do, which is in terms of accountancy and stuff. But then obviously, like December 11th, they tell me my world's coming down, right, and it's sort of 2 weeks of I don't even want to accept it. This is bullshit. Like, what's the point? And then the next week was like, okay, what do I do? And that's where I started doing more and more content on here because I thought I've got something here that I've started, and I can make it something that I can do to give back to um, this charity that's without its research I'll be dead by now. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
do you like snooker, and who's your favorite player and why? It's yeah, I mean I love Ronnie O'Sullivan. That's every time I was not well and I had a cold there was always be Ronnie O'Sullivan
I
on the
love Kingpin.
what?
I love Kim Pin.
Kingpin.
Yes, bro. Listen, I used to watch this kid. I used to watch this guy when I was because the thing is, snooker always used to be on BBC One or
Yeah,
BBC One
BBC Two.
catch up or something like that, like 302 channel. I used to turn it over to that, just watch it sometimes. It was never boring. It was just like chill out, kind of, grab biscuits, grab crisps, grab a drink, just chillax and watch it, man. It's like it might not even be your main sport, but at least you understand it.
But the
You know?
thing is that people like go to a club. The thing is that people go to a club snooker table. they're buckets compared to what they play on the TV. They are literally buckets. Like on the TV, you've got to get it right, or you've missed. So anyway, I missed meeting my friend. I haven't seen him since school COVID all started. This is the thing. My mate now that I described earlier, he's now got a daughter who was born on New Year's Eve, right? And he had a like partner, and then they split up and everything. And his daughter is like my goddaughter. Right? I buy her Christmas presents, I buy her birthday presents. Right? I try and see her as right when I'm allowed to, or when I can. Or before the pandemic, I was literally seeing her every other time, and every time we went out, which was once a month or something, and then we go out for just a meal or something like that. And she's one time we went to Florida, and her favorite princess was Cinderella. Right? Honest to God, right? Despite how awkward it was, I went and got Cinderella's autograph in her own autograph book. Right? No, for her.
No.
Right, and plus, I also got plus then went to the store, bought a doll, and that sort of thing as well. So, right, and then hopefully when they've got enough, they can money, they can go to Florida and do the same thing. So
Absolutely. Can I just say something quickly, Stephen? Yeah. You know what my mission is? And Bargav, I know I've known you since last year. I know we met like a few times last year, but we didn't really talk like properly. And I think this is a good time for you to understand like where I come from as a person. Because I know who you are. You're a very nice guy, and I respect your opinions on football and as a person as well. But yeah, no, my mission during my mission during lockdown is to get rid of my arthritis because it's juvenile, right? And it's affecting me. I can't walk all the time, and my foot was really affecting me. I lost 8 kilograms. And I went to the hospital last week, and I found out I lost 8 kilograms. I have progressed. I've been gaining weight. I'm in decent shape, but the thing is, I'm not the smallest guy. I don't weigh less, and I don't weigh a light amount, but I'm pretty tall as well. So very hard for me to walk around when it's in my legs and my ankles. And my mission is to get rid of it, start playing sport again, and then obviously my channel GNA TV. I'll be doing that in real life as well with Jem. We have a plan to meet up and just do our thing like everyone else wants us to. Because all we do is get comments. I think you're not doing it,
could like link up together and right, so we can have like a permanent community on YouTube. So helping each other out and helping like anyone who wants to tune in. To be honest,
absolutely.
So, I think that would be a great idea. So that way, like everyone's in the loop, everyone helps each other out, everyone, helps, gets to spread their message across and help the world in the way they see it. Because even sometimes I forget that, like, when I'm broadcasting, I'm not doing it to the UK, I'm doing it to the world. So
absolutely, man.
But,
I mean, that is like the best part of for me. That is the best part of YouTube, actually, because I think we all have problems, man. I mean, personally, like everybody has like some sort of issues, right? Like, and it's like once you get it out there, it's people from all over the world can give you like different insights or solutions.
Because the thing is that I've usually had to speak to a psychologist once a week, and though she's a liver specialist psychologist, and we get on like a house on fire, I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. You don't understand. Like, just no, you don't get it, right? And you're on that side, right? But on this side, so. But now doing all this stuff with YouTube, you get to meet people that have got their own problems. They've got their own health issue. Yeah. It's like I said on here, anyone that wants to express their own health issue and raise awareness on it, you can come on this channel and have their say on it, right? As well as having their say on football and F1. So it's not just
absolutely. And that's why a job that I do want to do, though, like, my mum has always said to me, what if you became a physio? like, you know, a physiologist as well. And I
Yeah.
was kind of like, yo, maybe that could be good. But then I've also got offers for my primary school because I was very I got passion awards because obviously, you know, like Just for Life, like for children, right? And obviously, it's just like your steps in life, becoming a teenager to an adult, and there's like the commitment, there's passion, there's hard working, there's um, I think it was like an all-rounder award as well. I got the passion award, and I have the trophy right here next to me. I'll show it on stream one day. I
Yeah.
have the passion award that I won twice at primary school. Um, I also got student of the year at primary, and I also got one of the students of the year last year at my secondary school. And you know, that was because my PE teacher looked up to me. She looked down to me. She took me under her wing. She said, "You're going to do this, and you're going to do it well."
Mm.
And that's why I'm not used. That's why I was kind of like, "Oh shit, wait, am I going to have to use technology every single day now during lockdown?" I was kind of like, "That's not who I am. I like to get out and about and do things and explore
Yeah.
the world
Oh,
because that's
definitely.
who I
Because
am."
I mean, I've
And
always been cooped up in hospital, so like I'd love to get out and that, but in the end, it's like, well, what would you rather, Stephen? Would you rather just be like this in lockdown, where you can still do what you want, but yeah, okay, you got to be online and stuff, but or would you have it the other way of being in lockdown and tied to a basically lockdown tied to pumps, machines, and God knows what, and not allowed to move? So, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll take the lesser of the two. But it's, yeah, I mean, for me, now it's I always now look at things as like, well, I've been through worse. I swear I've been through worse, right? And this last, if I'm being honest, this last few months have probably been the hardest months of my life.
yeah,
Honest to God, with the amount of news I was getting from the NHS, and big them all up, to be honest, right? But to be told that there's not much else they can do, and the longer it goes on, it's not going to get any better, right? Is probably, I never thought I'd hear it, never. But the fact that having this community here, right, that means that I've not been able to talk to the psychologist properly about it, because I'm happy doing it on these streams.
yeah, I hear that, man.
Does anyone think the world will be back to normal by autumn?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It will get there eventually. But yeah, we'll wait and see on that one. Chris, Ronnie O'Sullivan is the GOAT in snooker, but we'll say otherwise. That's if they actually watch it and understand the rules. But there you go.
Well, maybe you should start doing snooker streams.
Oh, don't. No. You can't do that, because you will literally be like that. Sometimes, right? Maybe
You
you
know,
get away with
we
it.
have the most delusional person. You have the most delusional person in Charles when it comes to football. You have the most delusional person in PR Raven when it comes to F1. And we only need one more topic. That's sports. You know, we need maybe.
Have
You
you
know, we
told
need
Jem?
three.
Have you
I
told
mean,
Jem the name of that guy from last night?
Who?
oh, the F1,
You know who I'm talking about?
Leclerc. Oh,
No, not Leclerc. The guy who put that comment.
oh,
You told
yeah.
who? You told who? You told who about
No.
what?
Have you told? Because I was going to mention, like, in the chat, if you see this name pop up on YouTube, block him.
Yeah, but no. What did you say before?
You know what you know what he said last night.
Which one?
You know, the one I had to block completely, ban.
Oh, the Spurs fan.
Yeah, what? Yeah, the that Spurs fan, but in particular.
Yeah. Disgrace.
But anyway, did you see? No, I haven't seen Ronnie playing ball in USA. Oh yeah, remember they used to take on like the snooker players from, and yeah, man, it's just brilliant.
What do you guys say is like the number 2 and 3 sports in the United Kingdom?
Snooker, rugby.
Like
Rugby.
for me, what it seems like is like football is number one. Football, soccer is like number one. Number two would be like number 2 and 3. I think are like between cricket and boxing.
No.
It's not.
I hear that though.
I hear that, but I would say
I'd say rugby
and cricket.
Formula One.
Okay.
And I like F1, but rugby and cricket to be honest. And look,
I'll be back in a minute, right?
But I also think you got like you know, you have like a darts and like snooker, which get a lot of attention. Like here in the U.S., it's like very similar. It's pretty much basketball, football, and MMA.
Yeah,
Soccer's
I'm glad I've
like,
subbed to. Just gonna put you up there. I'm glad I subbed to this channel before. I didn't sub. I actually. If you glad you I met you guys, enjoyed the banter too. Oh well, if that's helped you, then I that's what it's here for. Right. Just pay me later. Right, and that's my co-host for the Checker Flag Show and the F1 streams now. Yeah. So cricket, rugby. If this COVID didn't exist, wouldn't met you people, to be honest, potentially. Yeah, well, that sometimes the darkest of things can bring out the best of things, you know? So the way people look at it now, people, and I mean, last night I was going on about, oh yeah, if you told me I'd rather my health rather than the car that I'll go outside for mobility because of my health, I'd swap it, right? So I can have my health back and have no car, right? I'd happily fucking walk, right? But part of me is like, I'm glad I've got this illness because it's who I am, right? It's made me who I am. It's made me appreciate the little things in life, appreciate things in life. Yeah, I have my days where it's all like I don't want to appreciate anything, but yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's definitely I think made me probably the better person I probably would have been. So maybe tennis. Yeah, the tennis is a good one. Football, boxing, horse racing on mine. Football, darts, F1 on mine. That's because you're just doing my streams, mate. This is because you're... What sports do you play, Stephen? If you could play anything professionally, what would it be? Can't be an F1 driver or footballer. Lol. Bollocks. I'd say, well, I'd love to be. Well, it depends what you class as sport because snooker's a sport. So I'd happily be a snooker player because I used to captain the team as a pool team, a pub league, you know, fun like pool team for 2 years, and I was by far the best player. And the guy who was teaching us was an ex-England squad player. So, but I'm sure they've got a busy time in America tomorrow, aren't they?
Yeah, we got some interesting things this week. I mean, like the next week is gonna be like proper, like insane, and then we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I don't think you've heard my Trump impression, have you?
Huh?
I don't think you've heard my Trump impression.
No, I have not.
Right. I know I lost the vote, folks. Right. But when we get through this crisis, even though I hand over power, I'll still be president. Right? If you count my votes, I will definitely be president.
Yeah, basically. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of
It was funny. No, but it was funny though. He gets banned from Twitter, yet Twitter trolls don't.
Yeah, I know. That's actually a big issue here. Like, actually, right now is just the free speech and stuff. The
It's
problem
sad
I
in a
have,
way, to be honest. As much as I laugh, it's sad, right? Because
yeah,
like you expect better, especially from what they class as number one superpower.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, definitely. But what? Oh my god, I can't believe the time's flown by.
Yeah, I mean, one of the worst parts I think was COVID hitting us during an election year last year. It was absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
Like that was one of the that was one of the hardest parts because you have this crisis and then you have this re-election and then it like I do think like the response would have been better, but now even now we can't move it. Like even now it's just like dwindling effects from that. So I don't want to. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's just. We'll
yeah,
see. I guess the direction is already decided. We'll see what happens at the end of the week.
yeah. But hopefully, it would just be peaceful at least, and I think that's what the main thing people want. So,
Yeah.
but as much as I'm going to try and wait for ads, I'm going to have to wrap it up there anyway, because I'll go get some rest anyway. It's nearly 9 o'clock here. It's 10 to 9 in the evening here. So, right, it's we don't get it like Florida. So, right, it's freezing cold. It's pissing down with rain. Half the country's going to end up in a flood. Right, and we've got COVID as well. So, cheers.
So actually, like I have to move in about 2 months. I gotta move to like New York. So so I'm avoiding the snow. I mean, I've seen snow before, but supposedly it's kind of like this right now. So we'll see. I feel
it was snow on the weekend, so it's nice. It just doesn't snow on Christmas Day. That's pretty much it, really. I've never had that on Christmas Day. I probably won't.
The rain's probably is what's worse for you, rain or snow?
If you're where I am in the country, snow.
Snow.
Obviously, because the gritters, like some of the roads they go down, they don't bother gritting because it's a single track road. Right. I mean, our road literally is like it's not a road that they will grit.
Right.
And though it's just off the main road, which is gritted, is a major A road, right? Which the next level up is an M road. But where we live is this A road, instead of having 2 lanes, only has 1 lane. But it's literally from Ipswich in Suffolk to Norwich in Norfolk, which is the 2 main cities in between. So in between the 2 counties of Norfolk and Suffolk. So we live off a turn off of that, and it's not that far from the turn off. Right. Okay. The problem is if I did try once when it was snowing badly to try and get some essentials because we had no essentials. So milk, bread, and then my sister decided we were going to go to the supermarket anyway and go get it anyway. But I thought I'd get the essentials early in the morning to try and stop us going out.
Yeah.
And the curb my drive by where we park the cars in the drive, where it's a slope down.
Yeah.
So you just let it roll, and then hopefully the car turns. Otherwise, you're just going on into the field. So I've got it turned around.
Yeah.
Right. Then where to turn off, I've got to turn off right, onto a major A road with loads of traffic. When the slant is like that, so you're trying to go like on front wheel drive with ice on the road, trying to get up this little bank to get onto the main road. It's not. Then we managed. It was actually worse on the A road than it was on the B road to get to the town, to be able to get to the shop. Once I was on the way back, there was a crossroads where on the way back you're going downhill.
Yeah.
And an idiot behind me decided, let's be 2 seconds behind you, not 10, right? Like you're supposed to, right? And I said, well, if you fuck up and break, I'm gonna kill you, right? And because literally, by the time we were coming down this crossroads, I was hoping no one would pull out because we were like this.
Yeah.
we were all over the place, and I'm like, Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Actually, no. I used to live in Michigan, right? And the problem with Michigan was like it's a great place to live, but you get 4 seasons and everything. The problem is like when it snows, you have to worry more about the other drivers than yourself, and so I kind of get that with driving in snow.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
stick
for sure, man.
together through these tough certs. Definitely. Snow definitely worse for me as I hate I hate walking on ice. So I've got no balance anyway. Let alone walk on fucking ice.
Yeah,
Do you have a
forgot about
second
yeah.
team or club? You have England.
I mean,
Done. Job done.
England.
Right. Maybe Norwich because my mate's a Norwich fan, but then I love winding him up when they lose. So
What about like Watford? Because they're like
No,
kind of similar.
because I've got no affiliation with Watford, to be honest. Right. The other closest one would be where Woolwich, because obviously Arsenal was born from Woolwich in Greenwich,
Right.
Greenwich area, because it used to be called Woolwich Arsenal.
Right.
I lived in Welling, Bexley Heath, which was a 2-minute drive from Woolwich. Right. So I lived next door to it, where I used to live before I moved up to Suffolk. And the next part on from Woolwich is Charlton.
Okay.
Charlton. So the next one, and I've been to a Charlton Athletic game when they were in the Premier League.
Oh yeah, I remember them actually. I remember them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I the other team, if I was in local in my area, would have been Charlton. Then sometimes when the United were in the conference at one point. So and that's pretty much like the local clubs there. Yeah. So painful sport in England, international version of Tom.
I don't know. Like I don't know. England has gotten better though. Like I will say in the last like 5. I remember like when 2006 you had the golden generation, the so-called golden generation, and everyone thought it was over.
Oh, Mr.
Like,
Golden Ball.
Yeah. But then after that, I mean, you had like a little bit of a decline. I still remember the who's the coach you hired that in Croatia like knocked you out. You didn't even make it to the finals.
Oh, McLaren with his umbrella.
McLaren, yeah. Like, yeah, I remember that.
God.
You had like a couple years of like McLaren, and then was he the worst England coach, I think? Who's probably the worst England coach since
No, but do you know what's funny? You know, like Peter Raymond goes on about 100% record for Nico Rosberg, right?
Yeah.
Right, just to wind us up, which makes no sense, right? Because he never actually defended his title. You could say that about Sam Allardyce because he had one game in charge and won 1-1.
1-1.
So it's 100% win record.
Forgot about that, actually. Forgot about that.
That would be a trick question. Who's got the highest percentage rate as an England manager? Fat Sam.
That's where Sky Sports will probably put a minimum amount of games and whatnot.
No, they don't. They actually say, "Well, it's actually Fat Sam who's got that." No. I'm like, he played one fucking game.
All right, man. So
anyway,
you want to end this, and I'll be.
Yeah, I'm gonna end this. Right.
This is a nice idea, by the way. I should put it out there. Like, this is a nice idea. Like, just have like.
Just saw the news, right? And it's gone from 1,500 to 1,600, right? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this has got to stop because I go to the hospital every week with the NHS, and like I said last week, I was in a little room and not in a bed space. So, and it's worrying. It really is worrying. So, but yeah, like I said, everyone, please, right, as usual, like I keep saying, stay safe. Right, just quickly do these. You live in, you know, any of the Steiner brothers? Steve McCallum, Wally with the body. That's what he was. Take care. Stay safe, lads. Yes, as usual. Right, as it says up there, stay at home, protect the NHS, save lives. Right, do all of that. Just follow the guidelines. Even if you have to look them up 5,000 times, just look it up, right? And then, like, I know we're feeling like
When is it gonna end, Robbie? I've had enough.
Right, right. But hopefully we'll get through it, right? And we'll be celebrating by the time, and we'll be doing this again. Do you know what? That's gonna get clipped. I'm not gonna get fucked for that.
I mean, I can't wait till we win a title, man, or something like a. I can't wait for.
I think that'll do.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like I said, hopefully then we can start getting back to that, right? But yeah, I'm not getting into the dancing nonsense. Yeah, I'm not either. But I remember when that came out, and I'm like, that's gonna come back to haunt us. Right, that's gonna come back to haunt us, and they've still got it up there. That's the fucking problem. He hasn't taken it down.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I tried to message Robbie like, can you take it down? Can you take it down? It's bad. It's bad enough. All right, just keep it private on your phone until we win the league. Then you can put it up. Oh, I think he's gone. But anyway, yeah. Looks like he's gone. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to wrap it up there, guys. Like I said, stay safe, stay well. We can then go back to the partying times like that. Please, please, please follow the rules. Right, and like I said, I'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. with my hot off the press show. Right, make sure to check it out. Leave a like, subscribe, share, get on that. Right, and hopefully we will be out of this pandemic as soon as possible. But until then, take care, guys.